I am very high on the Chicago Bears going into this season. Caleb Williams, I could see him winning MVP this year. With the hiring of Ben Johnson, he's going to be able to elevate Caleb Williams to his full potential in his sophomore year. His rookie season was pretty good, but it could have been a lot better. He had inconsistencies with his accuracy, especially when he was trying to throw the ball downfield. And the offensive line didn't do him too many favors. He was getting sacked like 6, 7 times a game. Some of that was on him for holding the ball too long, trying to make a play, but a lot of it was just the offensive line getting blown up as soon as the ball got snapped. And the first thing that Ben Johnson did when he first took this head coaching job in Chicago was ramp up and beef up the offensive line for Caleb Williams. And now with the amount of riches that Caleb Williams is throwing the ball to, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, you drafted Luther Burden and Colson Loveland, this should easily be one of the best offenses in the NFL this year. With all of the creativity that Ben Johnson has in his offensive play calling, him inheriting a quarterback with this kind of talent that Caleb Williams possesses should easily make the Bears the most improved team in the National Football League this year. We always see a team go from worst to first in their division, and I expect for the Bears to be that team. Yes, the NFC North is tough, but I feel they'll win 12 games. They'll win this division. I got them sweeping the Minnesota Vikings. I have them splitting with the Detroit Lions and Green Bay. Chicago not just has a good offense, but their defense is really good also. They had a top 10 defense last year. You got Dennis Allen being your defensive coordinator now. He's not a good head coach, but he's a really good D coordinator. Some guys don't have what it takes to be a head coach. They just can't handle the amount of responsibilities. But when you have somebody that is as good as what Dennis Allen is calling plays, it's pretty safe to assume that Chicago's defense is going to be one of the better in the NFL. And they have an overall complete team this year, which is something that they didn't have last year, where, yeah, you had a bunch of good receivers, but the game of football is won and lost on the line of scrimmage. And like we just saw in the Super Bowl a few months ago when the Eagles dominated Kansas City, they mainly dominated that game because they were just harassing Patrick Mahomes all throughout that night. And Chicago is good on both lines of scrimmage, offense and defense. So that gives them a huge advantage over the majority of teams that they have on their schedule. And every team in this division has a difficult schedule. And I feel like strength of schedule is a tad bit overrated because some teams that were playoff teams last year may not make it to the playoffs this season, rather it be injuries or just completely underperforming. But when I think of some of the best teams in the NFC from just looking at their roster on paper, the Chicago Bears are in that conversation for me. They had a really good offseason this year, and I would be really surprised if we don't see this team get into the playoffs year one under Ben Johnson. There's a lot of pressure on him. When you get mentioned in the same breath as Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay being the offensive genius, we saw all of the crazy calls that he was dialing up in Detroit. You know, it's only right for the expectations to be sky high for you. We've seen Jim Harbaugh in his first season with the Chargers get them to the playoffs, even though on paper they didn't look like a playoff team. The Bears already were a playoff squad last year. At least that's what the expectations were. And you would have thought that the floor for them was 9 games. But with how bad the coaching was, with the mishandling of the clock and that Thanksgiving loss, the Hail Mary against the Washington Commanders, it took away 2-3 extra wins that probably could have changed how we all viewed the 2024 season. for the Bears organization. But this year, though, there is a lot to be optimistic about when it comes to the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams has an improved offensive line. He's throwing to a lot of weapons. He's going to have a great defense with Dennis Allen calling the plays. I got the Bears going 12-5 this year.